So you guys probably heard the story and saw the footage of the clash that happened. But really, it's not a clash. It's more of just a spray and pray in real life. The IDF essentially spraying and praying on Palestinian peaceful protesters. Now, there's video of it where there's literally a guy who's running away and they're just shooting at him. Essentially, it almost dehumanizes the person, and it reminds you of something very fucking scary. And it definitely was not a good look for them, especially because the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, on Twitter put out, "Oh, don't worry, we know where every single bullet went." And then there's all kinds of video and all of this stuff that shows that they, killed over 9 people now. They were just spraying and praying on a bunch of people, and literally hundreds, almost thousands have been wounded. So here's what the really sad story is that I'm going to be talking about. So a journalist is one of the 9 people who have been declared dead in this peaceful protest at the Israeli-Gaza border. Now, this journalist, he had like this vest around him that specifically said press, to make sure that they know, hey, we're press, but the IDF didn't give a shit. They shot at him anyways. Now, here's what this article says. It says, a Palestinian journalist was among 9 people killed as confrontations Friday between Palestinian protesters and Israeli forces along the Israel-Gaza border turned violent. Palestinian health officials in Gaza said Saturday. Israeli troops fired live rounds Friday against Palestinians attempting to break through the border fence, the Israeli military said, a week after violence led to the bloodiest day in Gaza since 2014. So basically there were thousands of Palestinians who were protesting, peacefully by the way, peacefully protesting for what they want, which is the right of return for refugees, saying that, we have the right to return back to our land. And they wanted to end they wanted to end the border wall and end the occupation. Now, it goes on to say, in response to a query regarding the journalist's death, the Israeli Defense Forces told CNN, quote, the IDF does not intentionally target journalists. The circumstances in which journalists were allegedly hit by IDF are not familiar to the IDF and are being looked into. It says, in photos apparently showing the journalist at the time he was injured, he was wearing a vest that said press. So again, he legitimately had a vest on that said press on it. So you know that he's part of the press. And the poor guy, he got these gunshot wounds from these fucking bloody terrorists and murderers. And then he died from them in the hospital. So it's so bad. That video, if you have not seen that video yet, I want to give you guys a warning of, kind of blood and gory and very scary. It's very scary because what you essentially see is there's thousands of people peacefully protesting and the IDF just starts praying them down. As if someone's just shooting animals or cattle or something like that. They're just spraying them down. And, it's so sad. One person is running away and these fucking vile monsters are shooting at him. Like, how can you shoot someone who's running away from you, you fucking bastards? If someone is running away from you, that is the last point that you should ever be shooting at him. And the fact that this journalist was killed is absolutely horrendous. And it just goes to show you that no matter what the Palestinians do, somehow it always turns out to be the Palestinians' fault in the situation. No matter what, somehow everything flips on the Palestinians. So, in this case, you have something that was not covered until this massacre happened. You have this case of thousands of Palestinians protesting peacefully. No one gave a fuck. Now that the massacre happened, it's getting coverage. And the craziest part about this is the IDF's claim that they knew about where every single bullet landed was embarrassing. And their comment that they just made about the death of this poor journalist, right, is embarrassing because it's on, we didn't know about that. It just shows you how, the massive amount of ignorance of the IDF. And this is a really scary story and something that if someone doesn't know about it, you should know because this is something really fucking important and very scary.